Cutting from a pulled thread isn't hard if you have the right tools. I prefer this really tiny tweezer and a short, small scissor. One mistake people make is trying to cut with their regular shears or even a rotary cutter, and pulling by a thread really isn't easiest to do that way. This is a cotton linen blend that I chose because it's actually a little bit hard to pull a thread out of. And I wanted to show some of my techniques for that. And one of them is to sort of gently twist the thread as I pull on it with my thumb and forefinger on one hand. And with the other hand, I'm gently pushing the fabric along the thread. So the feeling is as if you are pushing a little tiny dollhouse curtain on a little tiny dollhouse curtain rod. And that's the amount of force you want to take. So it does break. Don't freak out. The important thing here is not to try to get discouraged if you just get maybe 1 inch or 2 inches of thread at a time. I know that old books make it look like you can pull one long thread and just completely pull one long thread. And maybe you could back when fabric was spun and woven differently, but now with the methods that we use for modern fabric production, the individual threads just aren't very strong. But you actually still have your goal achieved, which is you've made a tiny little line of essentially what is a ladder in your fabric. And with that, you can take your small, sharp scissors and very carefully cut along that line. You're not actually trying to unweave the fabric. You're trying to get a relatively straight line that goes along one thread. Not perfectly. You'll go maybe one thread over or two threads over sometimes. Straight line on your fabric, and this works best with fabrics that are a plain weave, especially if they have some linen. And let me show you why. Here I am sewing together and using a rolled hem foot on this 100% linen, which is blue, and the linen cotton blend, which is the cat print. And if I had not taken the time to cut this linen by the thread, there would be little tails flying out. It would be shredding itself. But because it is essentially on one thread, it's behaving nicely under the presser foot.